Welcome to this training session for Greencastle Christian Church Grow Groups. This is the first week of our fall campaign with Grow Groups. So many of you have already met for the first time. Some of you are meeting later this week. And I just want to say again, thank you for what you're doing. Today I wanted to share with you from a book that I found very helpful for Grow Groups. Some of you have read this before. Simple Small Groups by Bill Search. And the reason why I want to bring this book to your attention is because in this book, Bill points out three very important parts of Grow Group ministry. Okay? There is the connecting, changing, and cultivating. Another way of looking at that is the connecting. That's the fellowship, the relationship part of Grow Groups. It's something very important that we actually get to know each other and build these relationships. And then out of those relationships comes the changing. As we engage with God, with God's Word, with godly people, we begin to change and grow more into the image of Jesus Christ. And then the last one, cultivate, is what Bill uses to talk about going out and changing the world. Being on mission is another way of putting it, or fulfilling the Great Commission to go and make disciples of all nations. So if you think about it this way, there's building those relationships among the group members. There's deepening our relationship with God. That's the changing, the growing part. And there's going out and changing the world. Now, here's the thing about these three. It's very hard to do all three at the same time. See, sometimes groups kind of go through these seasons where one or two of these may be more of the focus than the other one. And I want you to know that's okay. If you are a very new group, you're starting out for the very first time, or maybe you're an existing group, but you kind of invited some newer people for this season, you are very most likely in a connecting season where a big emphasis in your grow group is going to be getting to know each other, building those relationships, laying that foundation of trust. And when you're in that season, it's okay to spend a little bit more time on the icebreaker than some of the other questions. It's okay to spend a little bit more time in small talk before you get into the Bible study, because when we have that foundation of trust and relationship with people, then we're more likely to open up and go deeper. Now, other groups come into a season where changing and growing in their own relationship with Jesus Christ and their own knowledge and understanding and living out the life of Jesus Christ, that takes the focus. And that's very good. That's a very good focus to have. And in times like that, you kind of have a relationship you kind of have that base of relationship, and now we can start speaking into each other's lives and start building some accountability relationships and holding us to live out what we are learning and studying. And then some groups, especially when they've been together for a while and they have this foundation of trust and they have this season where have grown in the Word, take this missional service focus. And there are some groups that I've seen really take this to heart and say, hey, what can we do for our community? How can we serve? How can we serve in the church? Maybe some groups take on and say, hey, we will watch children for other groups. Or some groups do a season where it's, hey, we will serve. All of our group members will serve in a ministry 1 week or 1 month out of the year. Or they look outside and say, hey, what are some needs in our community that we can rally together and serve with? Now, it's important to keep all three of these in mind: changing, connecting, cultivating, but just understand kind of the ebb and flow and how the seasonal nature. Some studies that we do out of the shadows or others are going to be more focused on connecting, or more focused on changing, or more focused on cultivating. It's just helpful to be aware that there are those seasons, and that plays a factor into what groups people enjoy being part of. See, some people are looking for a group that's focused on changing, and this group over here is focused on connecting. Well, okay, maybe that might not be the right fit for where they are in that season. So just some things to keep in mind about relationship dynamics and grow groups. And I think as you're watching, you'll kind of begin to see, hey, our group, we're kind of in this season over here. And I do have 2 copies of this. If you're somebody, hey, I want to read, I'm interested in that, let me know. They're here in my office. Thanks, and again, thanks for what you do so much. God bless.